Hello class, good afternoon. This is the continuation of our topic, causes of erosion. So sheet erosion, water which during heavy rain there is more water than what the soil can immediately absorb. So water then flows in broad sheets across a wide area, thus causing sheet erosion. So this happens when there is a sheet erosion. So you can see this one, these lines, that is broad of sheet erosion. So splash and sheet erosion, okay, are greatly feared by farmers because they remove the valuable topsoil. So from the land, raindrops loosens the surface, and the water that flows in the broad sheets carries away the fertile layer, which is the topsoil, making the farms less productive. So sheet erosion likewise produces gullies while ruining the crop. So that's what gonna happen. So next is wind erosion. So a while ago we talked about water erosion, then now let's deal with wind erosion. So the rock particles picked up by the wind are deposited elsewhere, forming hills or sand called sand dunes. So these dunes may grow as high as several meters, especially when something stands in a way to slow down the wind and thus make it drops its load. So for example, there is a big tree, okay? Then the sand dunes will drop all the loads in that part because that big trees will slow down the wind. So the dunes will blown to other places, the movement always being in the direction of the prevailing wind. So it will go, okay, depends on the direction of the wind. The process of wind carrying away loose sediments is called deflation. So deflation occurs primarily in desert regions. Okay, in Isabela, we do not experience sand dunes. They sand dunes, okay, experience, or deflation occurs only in desert regions. As the dune as the wind blows along the ground, it scoops up and carries away the loose sediments such as sand and dust. So another one is just there are rainstorm, there are dust storm as well, or we also call this as sunstorm. So a very strong wind picks up a soil and blows it over great distances. The large pebble left behind form a hard surface called desert pavement. So some areas in the state of Kansas, USA, that became known as the Dust Bowl disaster in 1930 and was caused by deflation. So next one is the wind blows rock particles away, and these wear down exposed rock's surface. So this process is called abrasion. The cutting force of the sharp edged particles borne by the wind slowly breaks rocks into smaller pieces that are then carried away. So the erosion by abrasion is especially common at the seashore. The sand is mostly quartz and is hard and sharp, making it efficient abrasive material. So that is abrasion. And it is like a sandpaper working constantly on hard surface while being swept by the waves and the wind. Wind erosion can also occur if the soil is left unplanted for a long period of time because plants keep the soil from being blown away. So if there is a field and you plant nothing, okay, or it is unplanted for a long period of time, then there must be um, a possibility of wind erosion in that part because of the loose soil. So this one is an example of sandstorm. Next is erosion by gravity. So erosion by gravity, bits of rocks are separated and fall down to lower level because of the gravity. Everything on the Earth's surface is being pulled towards its center, hence their tendency is to fall down. When gravity moves rocks and soil down, a slope is called mass movement. The whole slope may move slowly downhill without being noticed. A sudden movement is known as landslide. Landslide often occur after heavy rains or after earthquakes. So this one is an example of erosion by gravity. And after that, what will gonna happen? Okay, the the thing or everything on the earth's surface is being pulled toward its center, or their tendency is to fall down, as what happens in this picture. Next is glacial erosion. So when the amount of snow is so great that it cannot completely melt, glaciers form. So what are those glaciers? Glaciers are mountains of ice. Okay? As the layer of the snow pile up, the weight on the underlying stone increases. The pressure on the ice at the bottom becomes so great that it partially melts. As the glacier moves, it scrapes and scratches the bedrock and soil underneath, and along its sides, many landform results from glacial erosion. So as this, big ice will move, then it will scrap and scratch the ground, okay, or the bedrock and soil underneath this big ice. So so many landform will result from glacial erosion. Factors affecting erosion. First is deforestation. So clearing of trees, transforming a forest into cleared land. So that's what they are doing now in order for them to develop, okay, a community. They cut all the trees, and that will result into soil erosion. Number two is intensive farming. Farmers use excessive fertilizer and irrigations that damages the land. And number three is housing development and road construction. So they make the soil bare. So it means that the soil cannot hold into trees, grass, or any plants. That's why they are bare and easily to erode.